National News Studio, Sri Lanka. Good evening, this is the National News coming to you live from the Rupavahini studios. Bringing you your stories for today is Uwin Hetiarachi and I'm Shara Mascarenhas. First is a look at the day's headlines. Government and government-approved private schools will commence tomorrow. Issuing of fuel according to QR code begins tomorrow. The subject minister says the test project was successful. Railway station masters call off their strike. Britain assures its continuous assistance to Sri Lanka. The president emphasizes that right to peaceful, non-violent assembly will be ensured. Protesters assigned several places. The Defence Secretary inspects Presidential Secretariat. The opposition will establish a national council to solve people's problems. Farmers will be given fertilizer free of charge at the forthcoming Maha season. Monkeypox found from 75 countries. The World Health Organization declares a global emergency. Angelo Matthews completes 100 test matches. Villalage gets test debut. Those are your stories for today, and we're going to move on to our top story now. Government and government-approved private schools will commence from tomorrow. However, schools will operate only 3 days a week and 2 days for online, that is.
Yes, it is informed by the Ministry of Education that schools will be held on Monday, Tuesday and Thursday until further notice. The ministry said that home-based study activities will be given students on Wednesday and Friday, or else online studies will be conducted. Teachers and parents and students were preparing for school for the opening tomorrow. General Secretary of Ceylon Teachers Services Union, Mahinda Jayasinghe, said that facilities should be provided for teachers, students and parents to go on in order of continuously to maintain schools. Minister Susil Premajayant said that steps have been taken to strengthen the public transport services. The situation will be reviewed on Thursday by reports related to the arrival of students and teachers. If necessary, amendments can be done. A special program is being implemented for school vans and buses with the opening of schools. Accordingly, issuing of fuels through the SLTB depots to school buses and vans commenced yesterday, and the drivers have appreciated the program.
In another leading story, issuing of fuel according to the National Fuel Pass is scheduled to commence tomorrow. Minister Kanchana Wijayasekara said that it will successfully be tested at 20 filling stations. A Twitter message issued by the minister said that 4,708 vehicles were used to test the QR code. Sri Lanka Petroleum Corporation had earlier planned to test the QR code at 25 places, but the tests could not be conducted at 5 places due to various difficulties. QR code will be tested at those 5 places in a future date. Fuel is issued according to the last digit of vehicle registration number. Accordingly, Tuesday and Saturday has been allocated for 0, 1, 2 digits. Thursday and Sunday for 3, 4, 5 digits, and Monday and Wednesday and Friday for 6, 7, 8 and 9. Issuing of fuel according to QR code commenced yesterday at Hinguragoda Sipetco filling station. Private Tanker Owners Association said distribution of fuel is continuing. A tense situation occurred at Vellavai Sipetco filling station based on a number of issues. The filling station has received fuel after several days and the workers have issued fuel for 0, 1 and 2 digits. However, persons who stayed in the queue with different numbers for many days have demanded to issue them with fuel. However, fuel was issued only according to the relevant numbers yesterday. Full has been received by Bandaravela Halpe filling station and long queues were seen near the filling station. Priority had been given for tourist vehicles transporting tourists to Alla tourist city. Norwood police arrested a youth who came to get fuel from Norwood Muscalia filling station with a forged number plate. The strike launched by Railway Station Masters Union has been called off. They refrained from issuing train tickets for 48 hours from 6 p.m. yesterday. As a result, commuters were able to travel without purchasing tickets. The strike was launched based on increasing ticket fares. A discussion between Secretary to the Ministry of Transport, Railway General Manager, officials and the Railway Station Masters Union has been held this morning. Litrogas is issuing gas to the market at present. Bhagavantalawa town has received gas after several months. The Ministry of Public Administration says that the circular issued limiting arrival of officials at state offices is valid for 1 month from today. Secretary to the Ministry of MMPK Mayadune said that steps should be taken to prevent officials who could report for duty not reporting by using the circular in a wrong manner. British State Minister Lord Tariq Ahmed says that the United Kingdom will continue to support Sri Lanka through the present challenges.
He made these remarks while a tweet following a telephone conversation with the Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Lord Tariq Ahmed of Wimbledon is the UK's Minister of State of Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs. In a tweet, Minister Tariq Ahmed said that he discussed the current security situation and the economic situation of Sri Lanka with the President. Minister Tariq Ahmed said that discussions also focused on rights of peaceful protest, media freedom, human rights and justice. The minister has said that also in his tweet that UK is ready to continue to provide support to Sri Lanka through these challenges. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has reassured the commitment of Sri Lanka for the rights to assembly peacefully without violence.
The president announced the stance during a meeting with the diplomats on Friday in Colombo. The meeting has been called to brief diplomats about the removal of protesters who are staying illegally at the Presidential Secretariat. The President emphasized that the present government ensures the 21st article of the International Convention on the Civil and Political Rights and the Article 14(1)(a) of the Constitution of Sri Lanka, which ensures right to peaceful assembly. The President recalled that the American Civil Liberties Union has said that permission should not be given for the protesters to block government buildings and to use properties for other objectives. The diplomats were briefed on the measures taken to ensure space for non-violent protests in the city without damaging the properties or lives. All facilities in Colombo, such as the Open Theatre at the Viharamadevi Park, New Town Hall, Hyde Park and Campbell Park, have been given for protests without violence. It was explained that the reports on social media about removing Godagama protest place was false and it has not been removed by the security forces. The Attorney General briefed the diplomats about the legal measures that are followed, including producing of all who have been arrested by the police in the Colombo Magistrate Court.
Secretary to the Ministry of Defence General Kamal Gururatne inspected the Presidential Secretariat taken over by the Galle-faced protesters this morning. The protesters conducted the struggle at the entrance to the Presidential Secretariat for more than 100 days. Thereafter, on the 9th, they broke the gates and fences of the Presidential Secretariat and entered the premises. The damage caused until the 22nd of that day by the protesters and weavers are now being repaired. The Secretary for the Defence Ministry and the Army Commander inspected the damages. The garden and the fence in front of the building have been renovated. Galle Road was temporarily closed after removing the protesters on Friday morning from the Presidential Secretariat. One lane of the road has been opened for light vehicles from last afternoon. Police and army have been deployed for the security area and police said they will look into the possibility of opening the road considering the present situation. The struggle of the Golf Face Green is being conducted for the 107th day today. A group of activities engaged in the struggle held a media briefing today at the place.
Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa says a national council to find solutions to the people's problems will be launched next week. He explained about the future program during a meeting yesterday at the opposition leader's office. Representatives of the joint trade unions took part in the meeting at the opposition leader's office. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa said that an announcement was made at the party leaders' meeting to join the program to build the country through parliamentary committee system. There is a problem if an all-party government is a process to get privileges and a ministerial portfolio that do not benefit the country. The president has asked to strengthen the parliamentary system and to implement the program to build the country through that. An active contribution can be made through the system. He requested to provide 1 day of the week for the National Council at the opposition leader's office and to table those proposals in Parliament.
The monkeypox outbreak has been declared a global health emergency by the World Health Organization. The classification is the highest alert that WHO can issue and follows a worldwide surge in the cases. It came at the end of the second meeting of the WHO's Emergency Committee on the Virus. WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus said that more than 16,000 cases have now been reported from 75 countries and 5 deaths so far as a result of the outbreak. There are only 2 other such health emergencies at present, the coronavirus pandemic and the continuing effort to eradicate polio. Dr. Ghebreyesus said that the WHO Emergency Committee had been unable to reach the consensus on whether the monkeypox outbreak should be classified a global health emergency. According to the WHO chief, the agency's assessment is that the risk of monkeypox is moderately globally and in all regions except in the European region, where they assess the risk is high. The WHO expects a declaration to help speed up the development of vaccines and the implementation of measures to limit the spread of the virus. The WHO is also issuing recommendations which it hopes will spur countries to take action to stop transmission of the virus and protect those most at risk. The monkeypox was first discovered in Central Africa in the 1950s. In the UK, there have so far been more than 2,000 confirmed cases. The health officials are already recommending people at high risks of exposure should be offered a vaccine. Initial symptoms typically include a high fever, swollen lymph nodes and blistery chickenpox-like rashes or lesions, often in the mouth or genitals. In recent cases, infections are usually mild. A global emergency expected to raise awareness around the world and support proper countries to obtain tools they need to control monkeypox.
Professor Chandima Jeevandara says that there are successful treatment methods for monkeypox.
Monkeypox is an infectious disease caused by the monkeypox virus. So it's a DNA virus. It was first detected from monkeys, which was used for research purposes in 1958. Thereafter, the very first human case was detected in 1970 from the African region. Since then, this disease has been there mainly confined to the African region, but time to time there were cases detected from especially in USA and European region linked to travel to the African countries. But 2022 we have observed there is a significant rise in the monkeypox cases, monkeypox patients, especially in the European and USA region, which does not have a direct travel link to the African countries. That is the main concern here. This outbreak, the scientists and the clinicians have noticed that it occurs mainly in men, especially among men having sex with men. The main symptoms are fever, lymph node enlargement and a classical rash which appear on the body, and sometimes it's painful. The fatal rate is about 1 to 10%. depending on the strain you are infected with. Yesterday, WHO had a meeting and they have raised the level of threat with regard to the monkeypox virus to a level which we called PHEIC response, that is Public Health Emergency of International Concern. It's very important to know that this is not a pandemic alert. This is a PHEIC alert, which means this is an extraordinary circumstance where this disease can spread internationally. So, by having a PHEIC notice, WHO encourages international community to work together to act fast, to develop more therapeutics, more diagnostics, and more advance the existing vaccines. Currently, the smallpox vaccine is effective against monkeypox virus, and it is about 85% effective in preventing the disease. And also, there are certain antivirals available, which is currently available in the market. Unlike COVID-19, we have had this disease for more than 50 years, and we know about the disease. There are plenty of research happened with the monkeypox virus. That's why we have all the armory to fight against the smallpox virus. So, so it's very important. The most important thing with regards to monkeypox virus is prevention. It's easy to prevent because the transmission is mostly with closed contact, and if you can prevent close contact, you can prevent the transmission, especially if, among the close contact has to be stopped between persons who has symptoms. Currently, we don't have any patients in Sri Lanka, but we have all the facilities for diagnosis, especially in our lab at the Allergy, Immunology and Cell Biology Unit, University of Sri Jayawardenepura.
Professor Chandima giving us insights on monkeypox. Stay with us. We'll be back with more local news and especially on Tamil Nadu aid coming up next.
හොඳමදේ විශ්වාසයෙන් ට්‍රීට් කරන්න. Prima Treats. Life is a treat.
உங்கள் கொடுக்கல் வாங்கல்களை இப்போது மிகவும் பாதுகாப்பாகவும் சௌகரியமாகவும் மேற்கொள்ளுங்கள். ஃபிங்கர் பிரிண்ட் அல்லது ஃபேஸ் ரெகக்னிஷனை ஆக்டிவேட் செய்யுங்கள். பீப்பிள்ஸ் வே மக்கள் வங்கியிடமிருந்து.
Welcome back to the news, and before we bring you about the Tamil Nadu aid, we start with Minister Mahinda Amaraveera, who says that 375,000 farmer families will be given fertilizer free of charge at the forthcoming Maha season.
The minister mentioned this while he went to inspect the distribution of urea fertilizer from the Angunukola Palace Agrarian Services Centre. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera said that distribution of fertilizer will be completed within the next few days. Tenders are being issued to purchase fertilizer from the Maha season. It is expected to provide fertilizer at the commencement of the Maha season. Steps will be taken to provide fertilizer for all maize farmers. 375,000 farmer families will be given fertilizer free of charge in the Maha season through the donation of the World Food Programme. Fertilizer will be given to vegetable farmers from next week.
Another consignment of essential medicine, rice, milk, food and other items have been received under Tamil Nadu aid. Leader of the Tamil Salon Workers Congress, Sendil Thundaman, said that those aid will be distributed among 2.3 million families in the country.
I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin, and also the Honorable Parliamentarian, Madam Kanimoli, and also the people of India for extending their support at this crucial time. They have donated almost 40,000 metric tons of rice, 102 metric tons of essential medicine, as well as they have given 500 metric tons of milk powder, for which we have already covered almost 2.3 million families in Sri Lanka. In the 25 district, the ship has arrived today. With the rest of the goods, we will be covering another large group of people who are living under the poverty. I like to again thank the Government of India and the people of India and the Honorable Tamil Nadu Chief Minister and his colleagues for their fullest support extended to us in these last days.
Jayasagara ship of Sri Lanka Coast Guard Department was commissioned yesterday during a traditional ceremony at the Trincomalee dockyard. The ceremony took place under the patronage of the Defence Secretary General Kamal Gunaratna. He handed over the commissioning order to the commanding officer of the ship. The emblem and the name board of the ship were unveiled amidst the blessings of the religious leaders. The ship has a length of 39.8 meters and a breadth of 7 meters. The ship can sail 3,200 nautical miles at a maximum speed of 7 nautical miles per hour. The crew is consisted of 78, including 10 officers. The ship, which was with Sri Lanka Navy before it was handed over to the Coast Guard Department in January, was used for many tasks during the war against terrorists. A group of officers, including Navy Commander Vice Admiral Nishantha Ulugethanna and Director General of the Sri Lanka Coast Guard Department, Rear Admiral Anura Ekarnayaka, attended the ceremony. "36 officers who completed training at the Sir John Kotalavala Defence University and the Trincomalee Naval and Ocean Science faculty passed out recently. The ceremony was held under the patronage of the Defence Secretary and the Navy Commander. A group of officers of the 35th and 36th intake of Sir John Kotalavala Defence University passed out on the occasion. Stay with us. Foreign news is coming up next.
හොඳම දේ විශ්වාසයෙන් ට්‍රීට් කරන්න. Prima Treats. Life is a treat.
On foreign news now, a state of emergency has been declared in part of California as the largest active wildfire in the United States rapidly spreads near Yosemite National Park.
Yes, the wildfire is raging in central California's Mariposa County, has burned nearly 12,000 acres and forced thousands to evacuate from the rural communities. The oak fire has quickly grown since starting on last Friday, and firefighters have struggled to get the blaze under control. More than 6,000 people have been evacuated and 10 homes destroyed. The state of emergency, which has been declared in Mariposa County, will allow state to access some federal assistance to tackle the fires. Around 400 firefighters and 4 helicopters have been deployed to fight the blaze. The scale of the evacuation means it is proving challenging to find accommodation for all those seeking shelter. The scale of the blaze marks ominous start to the California's wildfire season, and officials have warned that a combination of drought, climate change and overgrown vegetation are posing significant challenges and increasing the chances of fire spreading rapidly. Much of the United States is sweltering through a heat wave, and heat advisory warnings are in effect in more than a dozen states.
Sakurajima volcano in southwestern Japan erupted this evening, causing the eruption alert to be raised to its highest level, the Japan Met Department agency said. Volcanic stones fell up to 2.5 kilometers from the volcano, but there was no immediate reports on injuries following the eruption. Following the eruption, the agency raised its alert for the volcano from a level 3 to 5 on its 5-point scale, warning the public to evacuate. It marks the first time that level 5 has been issued for the volcano. Since last week, the agency has observed minor crustal movements indicating the expansion of the volcano. Sakurajima is one of the most active volcanoes in Japan and is connected to the Oshima Peninsula of Kyushu, the country's southwestern main island.
Prima Kotomi Pantan.
On sports news tonight, it's been a glorifying day for certain cricketers at the Galle International Cricket Stadium as the second test between Sri Lanka and Pakistan commenced today at the Galle International Cricket Stadium. And we have Angelo Matthews, who got his 100th century celebration for 100 for Test cricket.
A ceremony was held before the commencement of the match to mark the 100th Test match of Angelo Matthews with the participation of Deputy Chairman of Sri Lanka Cricket, former cricketer Chaminda Was, family friends of Angelo Matthews and a group of cricketers. Angelo Matthews is the sixth player who had played 100 Test matches for Sri Lanka. Sana Jayasuriya, Muthaya Muralidharan, Chaminda Was, Mahela Jayawardena and Kumar Sangakkara have passed the mark earlier. Angelo Matthews played his first Test match in 2009 with Pakistan at Galle International Cricket Stadium. It is significant to note that he is playing the 100th Test match also against the team he played his first Test in the same stadium. He has scored 6,876 runs in 99 matches, which includes 13 centuries and 38 half-centuries. His highest total is an innings is 200 runs. Captain of the Sri Lanka Under-19 team, Dunith Wellalage, played his first Test today. He is the 162nd Test cricketer from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka captain Dimuth Karunaratne, after winning the toss, decided to bat first. Accordingly, Dimuth Karunaratne and Oshantha Fernando commenced the Sri Lankan innings. Oshantha Fernando scored his 7th half-century today when opening partnership was 92. Oshantha Fernando was out for 50 runs. Kusal Mendis was run out for 3 and thereafter Angelo Matthews came to the ground. When Sri Lanka was 120, captain Dimuth Karunaratne was out for 40 thereafter. Angelo Matthews and Dinesh Chandimal built a partnership of 75 runs for the 4th wicket. Angelo Matthews was out for 42 as Sri Lanka's 4th wicket. Dinesh Chandimal scored his 24th Test half-century today. He scored 80 runs. Dhananjay De Silva scored 33. At the close of play today, Sri Lanka was 315 for 6 wickets. Niroshan Dickwella was not out on 42 and Dunith Wellalage was not out on 6.
Now on to some rugby action at the Rugby School League that's taking place. Vidyaratha College won for the third time for the third match against Science College.
The match was played at the Science College ground. Vidyaratna College led 10-3 at the end of the first half. They won the match 13-9. Vidyaratna College scored 2 tries and a penalty. The match between Isipatana College Colombo and Dharmaraj College Kandy was played in the Havelock grounds in Colombo. At the end of the first half, Isipatana led 12-7 and they won the match 26-12. Isipatana College scored 3 goals and a try. The match between St. Peter's College Bambalapitia and Wesley College Colombo was played at the Wesley College ground. The match ended in a draw as both teams scored 17 each. The match between Royal College Colombo and St. Joseph's College Colombo was played at the Havelock grounds. At the end of the first half, Royal College led by 7-3 and they won the match 17-3. Royal College scored a goal and a try.
Now it's the 9th day of the World Athletic Games and a lot of action has been taking place as US won the women's 4x100 relay at the World Athletic Championship and the men's was won by Canada.
Pedro Pechardi of Portugal won the men's triple jump event with a distance of 17.95 meters. Emmanuel Kupuruputri of Kenya won the men's 800 meters with a timing of 43.71 seconds. Ethiopia's Gudav Sege won the 5,000 meters women's marathon with a timing of 14 minutes and 46.29 seconds. Grenada's Anderson Preeters won the men's javelin throw event with a distance of 90.54 meters. Again, Grenada's Anderson Peters won the men's javelin throw event with a distance of 90.54 meters. Miraj Chopra of India won the second place with a distance of 88.13 meters. The US won the women's 4x100 meters event with a timing of 41.14 seconds. Jamaica won the second place. Canada won the men's 4x100 meters with a timing of 37.48 seconds. The US won the second place and the UK won the third place.
That's it. That's a look at Rupavahini News for tonight, together with the rest of the team, Win and myself, wishing you a very pleasant week and a great evening.